Hi everyone. I am back from Atlanta, and of course I have not edited the video yet. And it's not even really editing, it's just taking out the clips and putting the pieces together, which takes me a while. So there's not really like stuff that I cut out or anything, it's just getting it all together and in an order that it's supposed to go in. So yeah, I'm still working on that. I am outside today just enjoying the weather. Me and my daughter took the baby for a walk in the stroller. Not sure if you could see, hopefully you could. And we're just back. We didn't go too far today because it looks like it's about to rain, and we felt a couple drops, and with the concentrator with us, I cannot get wet like that. So also the baby probably doesn't want to be wet. But in any case, today what I was going to talk about, because I've seen this come up a number of times, is smoking and quitting smoking. So I've ran across it several times in other forums, and even here on my YouTube channel. People ask questions or comment that they're gonna quit, and I was just, and they're commenting on like they have a quit date, or that they're gonna quit after they get on the patch or whatever. And I know a lot of people have asked, was I a smoker? And yes, I am an ex-smoker. I have been quit now for 5 years, and after I quit, I did not ever, not even one more cigarette. So now the quitting process took me a little while, and that's what I really wanted to share with you today, is how I quit. And because of some of the other work that we do, I know that a lot of what we do in life is habit. And so for me, more than worrying about the nicotine in the system, I knew that I needed to confront the habit that it was. So I had started working on heading towards quitting a long time ago. So way before this 5 years ago, I had cut out smoking in my house, cut out smoking while I was driving, and then later, as I got closer to my quitting fully, I had cut out smoking while I was doing anything. So in other words, I had to like literally sit down and smoke outside. And by doing that, I didn't like to sit still very long, and so I was working on changing my habits. So in other words, by not smoking in my house anymore, I got rid of that habit. And then by not smoking while I was driving anymore, I got rid of that habit. And then by not smoking while I was doing other stuff, I got rid of that habit. So I worked on changing my habits around smoking rather than worrying about the nicotine. So I never use any patches, pills, or gums or anything like that. I just did it through creating a change in my habits. And so I was like a 1-pack-a-day smoker, and then I worked on getting it down to 10, and then 5, and then I finally got down to 2 a day. And I'd have 1 in the morning and 1 at night before I went to bed, but I found that the 1 in the morning was hard, because then once I had that in my system during the day, it was harder to avoid it. So then I went down to just 1. So I would wait for that 1 right before I went to bed, and I found that easiest, because then I would go, my 8 hours of sleeping without any nicotine in the system and start fresh again in the morning. So once I got it down to that, it became much easier from there, because then I had cut the habit out of my whole day routine. The other thing that I knew is when I started having trouble like with stairs and exercising and stuff like that, I knew I needed to go to the doctor to find out what was wrong, but I didn't feel comfortable going to the doctor as a smoker because in my mind that would be stupid. I'm going there asking for help, and if I can't even quit the main problem that was probably the cause, then I needed to fix that and address that before going to the doctor. So at that point I cut out the last of that last cigarette, and it was like saying goodbye to a dear old friend that I thought I was going to miss. And as it turns out, that once I got over probably maybe the first week or two, after that it was nothing. So now I can see people smoking. I do not subject myself to being in rooms or anything with other people smoking, not because it bothers me per se, like that I would want one, but because it bothers my breathing. I don't mind if we're outside and they're smoking or whatever. It doesn't faze me. I've never looked back. In fact, it's amazing at how much it changes your life when you don't smoke, because like all the time that I spend in airports and everything, it's amazing to just sit back and just chill and watch the people go by, and not need to run to wherever, back through security to go have a cigarette and all that stuff. So yeah, and I never get caught having to stand outside in the cold because I need to go have a cigarette, or in the rain, or so I don't miss it one bit. I always hear a lot of people saying after they quit smoking that they miss the cigarettes, but I really don't at all. Now if cigarettes were my only lung issue, that would be great. I believe that I've had the PAH for way a long time, because I was always affected by altitude, and like when we flew, I'd have trouble walking around on the plane. I'd get really out of breath. Also when we were in the mountains, I'd get really out of breath in hot tubs and stuff like that. So once they finally found the PAH, I got a lot of answers to a lot of my other questions. So sometimes smoking isn't always the cause of things, but it's definitely something to eliminate either way, because whether it was the cause or not the cause, I am definitely healthier without it. And even if you're not having any problems from smoking, anybody who isn't smoking is definitely healthier without it. So in any case, to those of you who are working on quitting, keep working on it, because once you break that habit, and it's really just breaking the habit of the routine, you will be so happy you did. And it really does change how you feel about things, because that's probably one of the hardest things I've ever done, and now I know that I can control any situation in my life. So yeah, it's just a good feeling. So for those of you who are working on quitting, just get a plan together, look at what your habits are. So if you always smoke after you drink coffee in the morning or whatever, cut that one out, and just do little things like that just to shake up your routine. And once you start doing that, you'll see that it gets easier and easier and easier as you go along. So now it is the easiest, of course, after the few weeks have went by and the last of the nicotine's out of your system, and as the habits fade away from your mind. Just think of your mind like a record, and there's grooves in it, and so it's that record's been playing there for so long, so it does take a little while for those grooves to wear away and change, to form new ones. So just keep at it. Good luck, and happy non-smoking. And I will get that Atlanta video posted for you as soon as I get time to get to it. Yeah, so if you like this video, hit like. If you like my videos, subscribe and share. Thanks. Have a good one, you guys. Bye.